Lahat ng drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews at noon.
Good afternoon, and welcome to koolNews at noon. 11 people died. 5 were seriously injured and 20 suffered minor injuries when an air-conditioned bus and a pickup collided early Thursday at the Ayagao Junction in Abulag Town, Cagayan police reported. The further to St. Joseph bus traveling from Santa Marcela in Apayao to Manila crashed against the speeding pickup at the junction at 4 a.m. Investigators said the bus veered into a mound of earth and junk while the pickup crashed into a line of market stalls by the roadside. Major Antonio Palatao Jr., Apollo police chief, said the victims were taken to hospital and the fatalties were brought to funeral parlors. The 20 passengers with minor injuries did not seek medical help. A follow-up investigation is ongoing. The Department of Energy is urging more Filipino companies to explore opportunities in nuclear energy alongside the Marcos administration's efforts to revive the use of the power source to meet the needs of a growing economy. Energy Undersecretary Rowena Cristina Guevara said Wednesday the government was banking on private players' investments to fast-track President Marcos' target to make nuclear energy part of the power mix. Our hope is the private sector in our country will pursue nuclear power because we have a target that by 2032 we should have 1,200 megawatts, she told reporters on the sidelines of an event in Taguig City. The president's bid for a nuclear future for the Philippines amid his father's own failed pass with the Mobile Bataan nuclear power plant made progress on July 2 when the crucial 123 agreement with the U.S. came into force. With the legal framework now in place to make the technology reach Philippine shores quicker, about 40 American companies are expected to join the fray. Mylan Electronic Co. and the Apotic Group had already signified their interest in developing the energy source. Guevara took note of Morocco's plan to build micro-modular nuclear power plants by 2028. In May, Morocco Chair Manuel B. Pagilian said the group wanted to have an operational facility to produce power and demonstrate that it's a safe mode of producing power. The International Atomic Energy Agency defines micro-modular reactors, MMR, as advanced nuclear reactors with capacity of up to 300 megawatts per unit, or about one-third of the capacity of traditional nuclear power plants. Ideally constructed in smaller areas, and MMR is usually the size of a bus. In a statement late Tuesday, Energy Secretary Rafael Lotila said the deal with the U.S. would pave the way for the safe and secure use of nuclear energy for peaceful purposes, for information, knowledge, and technology exchange related to nuclear safety, security, and non-proliferation. Lotila said the Nuclear Energy Program Interagency Committee is already finalizing the roadmap for nuclear energy use. Once the government hits 1,200 megawatts of nuclear power generation capacity by 2032, it hopes to further boost this with an additional 1,200 megawatts by 2035 and 2,400 megawatts by 2050. Commission on Elections Comelec Chairman Judge Aaron Garcia said there is an alleged plot to impeach him and discredit other members of the whole body. According to Garcia, the impeachment complaint would be about allegations that he accepted bribes from different foreign banks, including banks based in South Korea. He said he already decoded what would happen to him and his fellow commissioners. The Comelec chief earlier sought the help of the National Bureau of Investigation, NBI, to look into claims spreading online that he has offshore bank accounts. Para sa alaman ng mga yan, ito po ay isang planado ng operasyon. Sunod-sunod po ito series, madaming po ito. Ang susunod po ito, sasabihin ko na yung individual members ng commission, ang mga commissioners ko naman ang may white paper, Garcia said during an interview over Radio 630 on Thursday. Ang hulihan, i-file ang kami lahat ng impeachment. Sasabihin ko na po, nagtikod ko na lahat nung pong nabanggit na po sa akin lahat ng plano ng grupo sa likod nito, she added. In a letter dated July 8 and addressed to NBI Director Jimmy Santiago, the Comelec chief said allegations toward at him are entirely false and baseless. Garcia said he is willing to cooperate throughout the investigation. If it would aid in your inquiry, I am prepared to issue whatever waivers to override any anti-money laundering regulations and bank deposit secretary law pertaining to the alleged accounts in question, he said in the letter. On Tuesday, July 9, Sagip Party List Representative Rodani Marcoleta revealed that at least 1 billion pesos worth of funds were transferred from South Korean-based banks to foreign offshore accounts supposedly linked to an unnamed Comelec official. Garcia said it sentenced him that the acquisitions were made public without foreseeing his side or point of view. Wala man nang patawag sa akin. Yung nagkusa ay napakalapit na kaibigan at naging kilinyente ko pa. Nakakalungkot lang sana sabihan tayo at the same time para makuhan man lang ang side natin. He lamented without mentioning any name. National Commission of Senior Citizens Chairperson Franklin Quijano has been placed under a 90-day preventive suspension amid allegations of gross neglect of duty and grave misconduct, Malacanan confirmed Thursday. Yes po, President Communications Office Secretary Chiloy Carafil told Inquirer that in a message when asked about Quijano's suspension. No other details were given. Last month, however, it was reported that 5 of 6 NCSC commissioners, namely Mary John Loreche, Edwin Espejo, Raymar Mansilungan, Rainier Cruz, and Enriqueta Rodelas, asked Quijano to step down. The 5 commissioners said on June 21 that they had informed Mandalangkanan about issues against Quijano. Senior Citizens Party List Representative Rodolfo Ordones, who chairs the House Committee on Senior Citizens, backed the move to expel Quijano as head of the NCSC. Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino said he asked the Department of Justice and the Philippine Coast Guard to extend assistance to Filipino fishers who figured in a hit-and-run incident with an unidentified foreign vessel near Bajo de Mansilla, Scaparroso in the West Philippine Sea, asked July 7. Tolentino, chairperson of the Senate's Special Panel on Maritime and Admiralty Zones, identified the fishermen as Joe and Roberto Mondenado. According to the senator, Roberto survived the incident while Joe remains missing to date. Kanina po, kausap ko yung anak nila Ma'am Dila at Ma'am Joe, at kausap ko rin si Robert Mondaneto, Joe's brother who survived the incident. Nag-usap kami tungkol sa mga pangyayari at noong isang araw, kausap ko naman ang PCG na gumagawa ng investigasyon. The senator shared in a radio interview as quoted in the statement released Thursday. Today, I have written a formal letter to the DOJ and even to the PCG so Ma'am Dela's family can be assisted. The search is still ongoing. I hope the search and rescue operation for Joe will be successful, he added. Apart from financial assistance, Tolentino said he also called for the provision of scholarships for Joe's children. Tolentino was the first to disclose the information about the foreign commercial vessel that ran over and destroyed a fishing boat being used by Robert and Joe's. Earlier, Tolentino said that the foreign vessel, whose body bore Chinese characters and was described by Robert as bearing the words Yang Fu, should be held accountable. And the price of And the pace of rise prices across the Russian economy accelerated in June. Official inflation data released Wednesday showed increasing the chances of an interest rate hike later this month. Huge government spending to support the military offensive in Ukraine has helped Russia record unexpectedly strong growth, but has also pushed prices higher. Annual inflation for June came in at 8.6%. This was that statistics agency said Wednesday, up from 8.3% in May. That was the highest reading since February 2023. Moscow officially targets an inflation rate of 4.0% and has already raised interest rates to 60% in the bid to stop the economy further overheating. Central Bank Governor Elvira Nabiulina signaled last week a further rate rise was likely when the bank meets on July 26. I think the main subject of discussions will be the step of the rate hike, she told an Economy 4. Alright, we have covered first few headlines, but stay tuned people, as we will be covering more until 12:30 p.m. So stick around people, we will be right back. What happened? Okay, what happened here? Okay, we are experiencing some technical difficulties as we speak. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. Let me check the live stream. Okay, there we go. We are back on air now. So, all right, welcome back to koolNews at noon. All right, let's continue now with the headlines. Energy majors Total Energies, Shell, and BP will each take a 10% stake in the liquefied natural gas project in the United Arab Emirates state giant agent ADNOC said Wednesday. Japanese trading company Mitsui & Co. will also acquire 10% of the low-risk LNG plant scheduled to come online in 2028, the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company said. The NOC, the UAE's key revenue earner, will retain a 60% majority stake, the firm said following a signing ceremony. The Ruiz plant, currently under development in Abu Dhabi, is expected to produce about 9.6 million metric tons per annum, ADNOC said, more than doubling the company's LNG production capacity in the UAE. Ruiz, which will run on nuclear power, will be one of the world's slowest carbon-intensive LNG facilities, said ADNOC Chief Executive Sultan Al-Jaber. ADNOC also said it has signed several long-term LNG sales agreements with international partners, including for 1 MTPA with Shell and 0.6 MTPA with Mitsui & Co., taking Ruiz's committed production capacity to 70%. Gas is being touted as cleaner than other fossil fuels as countries around the world strive to reduce their emissions and slow global warming. Demand for gas spiked following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, with several Gulf countries looking to boost output. Qatar this year announced new plans to expand output from the world's biggest natural gas field, saying it will boost capacity to 142 million tonnes per year before 2030. New British Prime Minister Keir Starmer met President Joe Biden at the White House for the first time Wednesday, with the U.S. leader hailing Britain as a key ally on global issues including the war in Ukraine. "We're the best allies in the whole world," the 81-year-old Biden said as he shook hands with his fellow Senator-led leader in the Oval Office. Biden added that he saw Britain as the knot tying the transatlantic alliance together. Starmer, who is the age of 61, is also making his debut at a NATO summit in Washington less than a week after winning elections, said that this special relationship is so important and it's stronger than ever now. The two men also joked about the English football team semi-final win in the Euro 2024 Championships, saying their victory over the Netherlands was all because of the Prime Minister. Neither man, however, addressed the elephant in the room, with Biden's re-election chances mired in crisis since a disastrous debate performance against Donald Trump. The growing questions over Biden's health have also raised fears among allies about a secretary for Trump, who has openly questioned NATO's usefulness and mused about cutting a quick deal with Russia on Ukraine. In Washington, Starmer promised to keep up Britain's steadfast support for Kiev and keep his pressing for strengths inside Russia with British missiles. Days after his Labour Party swept elections and threw out the Conservatives in power for 14 years, Starmer said he had a very good meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on the sidelines of NATO's 75th anniversary summit. I made it absolutely clear that as far as the UK is concerned, the change of government makes no difference to the support that we will provide, Starmer told reporters. On his flight to Washington, Starmer said British supplied Storm Shadow missiles were for defensive purposes, but it was up to Ukraine to decide how to deploy them, effectively giving Kiev the green light for strikes again inside Russia. Starmer was to say in a speech to NATO leaders on Thursday that Britain will stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes. He was also to recommit to 3 billion euros or 3 billion pounds or 3.9 billion US dollars a year of military support for Ukraine until 2030 to 31, the British government said. Britain will also deliver a new package of artillery and 90 brimstone missiles in the coming weeks and contribute to a huge NATO assistance package for Kiev. Britain, under 3 consecutive prime ministers, has been among the strongest supporters of Ukraine in the war, taking the lead in pushing for more advanced military systems and looser restrictions on Kiev. Biden, who has strongly backed Ukraine but has been careful not to start a direct conflict with Russia, recently made a similar move by letting Ukraine strike off Russian offensive positions just across the border with US weapons. Zelensky hailed the decision on the Storm Shadow missiles, writing on Telegram, "Thank you for your continued support of Ukraine and our people." Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov warned that Russia will take appropriate measures in response to Starmer's decision. Starmer spoke with other Western leaders at the NATO summit, including French President Emmanuel Macron. Starmer said he hoped that the NATO summit would send a message to Russian President Vladimir Putin that the alliance is bigger now than it's ever been, more united than it's ever been, and absolutely cleared out about the threat of Russian aggression. A NATO summit in Britain in 2014 set a goal of each ally contributing at least 2% of GDP to defense, a long-running demand of the United States. Only the United States, Britain, and Greece then met the target, but since the invasion of Ukraine, the number has gone up to 23 members of the 32-nation alliance. Britain's new Defense Secretary, John Hurley, called for NATO to consider moving toward a 2.5% goal. The growing threat around the world suggests that all NATO nations are going to need to do more than simply 2%, Hurley told reporters. And now for entertainment news, Billy Crawford dismissed rumors of his supposed drug use, stressing that those close to him can attest that he is one of the few artists who don't try drugs. Crawford has been haunted by rumors that drug addiction was the reason behind his weight loss, with netizens pointing out his recent sickly appearance in a video that made rounds on social media. This was brought up during Cover's interview with showbiz reporter Nelson Canlas, who asked the actor dancer about his slimmest era. The slimmest or the sickness era, Crawford quipped, as seen on 24 Hours on Wednesday, July 10. Everyone keeps on, it's a loop. It's like a circle sa buhay ko. It's a non-stop conversation. My nutrition or my diet. I am not on a diet, he clarified. Crawford said he is aware of the rumors circulating on social media, admitting it used to face it, pero now, it really doesn't anymore. Nakakatawan na lang. He further underscored that he has nothing to hide and that he is confident to undergo a drug test at any time. Sa mga nang kakakilala sa akin, I am by far the one of the few artists who don't try drugs, he told Canlas. Ako, hindi po ako addict. Addict ako sa pamilya ko. Addict ako sa trabaho ko. And that's it. I'm living, I think, my life to the fullest right now. Meanwhile, Crawford was announced as one of the coaches in the upcoming reality competition, The Voice Kids on GMA. And Carla Estrada made an appeal to supporters of her son Delia Padilla to stop the bashing and be respectful toward others. The celebrity mom addressed Padilla's fans through her Facebook page on Wednesday, July 10. She, however, did not immediately state the reason behind her appeal. Panawagan sa lahat ng mga supporters ni Daniel Padilla or DJP, pakiusap lang po, no bashing tayo please, he said. Hindi yan ang klaseng ng pamamaran ng pagsuporta na gusto ng aming pamilya para kay Daniel. We appreciate your support but please, no bashing to others, she continued. Estrada spoke against spreading hate and underscored the value of respect. Ipagmalaki ang lahat ng blessings ni DJP. Respeto para sa blessings ng iba. Maging masaya tayo sa tagumpay ng bawat isa, she urged. Prior to this, Estrada cried foul over the speculation surrounding their Quezon City family home, which had been up for sale for the past 3 years. And Arc Estrada did announce that the property is no longer on the market, also dismissing rumors that the family is struggling financially. Meanwhile, Estrada's family earlier celebrated the wedding of her son JC and his longtime non-showbiz girlfriend. The couple also announced during their nuptials that they are set to welcome their first child, a baby boy. And just before we leave the newscast, our fellow news anchor DJ Sen will be returning to koolNews at noon tomorrow. So expect DJ Sen to deliver the afternoon news by Friday, which is tomorrow. And that is it for koolNews at noon. As always, you can send a news tip or feedback to us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back later with more headlines with koolNews at 4. Until then, I am Aspir, and we will see you later. Good afternoon.